welcome back to Game Room Crafts. I'm Kelly. This is my game room. Let's play. Today, we're going to be making some I did a thing molds. I did a couple of things actually. I've been on a mold making kick. So I have made a crystal owl, a crystal hedgehog, and of course my old standby crystal butterfly that I made a while back, but I just haven't cast them in a while. So what I have here is 4 ounces of Hay Clear 1:1 epoxy resin, and I'm going to mix that up. I am going to put a little bit of crushed crystal in it, but I'm going to get this mixed up first. I'm going to get this down into the cup rather than sitting up on the side where it's not doing us any good. Okay, here we go. Now I'm going to put in my Unicorn Art Crust Crystal. I'm not putting a lot, I'm just using whatever's on my spoon. So it's not a scoop, I'm just sticking my spoon in there and letting stuff get stuck to it. Okay, this stuff flies everywhere, so be careful of that. Okay, I put it away. And the more you mix it, the sparklier it becomes. Okay, here we go. All right, that is that. I can see the sparkle in there. I'm good with the amount that's in. I actually think I didn't put too much this time. And yes, there is such thing as too much. Wipe my paddle down so I don't get crusty. I don't like it. This is going to go on a trip through my Resiners Airless Light. And that'll be about 6 or 7 minutes. I will be right back. Now, while we're waiting for our resin to come out of the machine, I'm going to show you. This is my owl. He's a split mold because he's tall. And I was considering getting down in there and coloring his eyes because he's an owl. He's got bubbly eyes. But I think what I'm going to do is wait. And when he's done, I will use probably my metallic marker or some kind of acrylic marker and go ahead and color his eyes in that way. So what we're going to do is simply pour the clear with crushed crystal into our owl split here. And make sure, because he's a split mold, I had to make sure that his lined up properly, which he is. And I use self-adhesive bandage. It sticks to itself, and I find that it holds it better than just a rubber band on its own. Oh, well, mostly it holds it better on its own. Plus, you can write on it. So I wrote on mine that it's the owl, the crystal owl. Oh, why is it not sticking? I use a Sharpie and I wrote on it that it's the crystal owl, and it should be sticking, and it's not sticking. Why is it not sticking? It was sticking earlier. Of course it's not sticking because I'm on camera. Well, anyway, see? Owl. Right here. Oh, crystal owl. Okay. Well, since it seems to not be wanting to play nicely today, I'll go ahead and stick a rubber band on that anyway. But yeah, normally it just sticks like that by itself. Okay, it's lined up nicely, and it looks like we're just about done with our bubbles. Release the pressure. And that's nice. And you can see the crushed crystal in there, but I also see something else. What is it? Yeah, I got it. Okay. I don't know what it was, but it doesn't belong in there. Okay. I'm going to give him a spritz. He's got a lot of detail with his feathers and his eyes. I roll the alcohol on in there. Dump it out. And here we go, Mr. Owl. I got about halfway up, and I'm just going to go in there with my stick, and I'm not poking hard at it. Just want to make sure, like, especially by where his eyes are, which I can see, that there's no bubbles. I'm trying real hard. I don't want to see any bubbles when I demold this beauty. Okay, and then the rest of the way. Now this owl, he is sitting on a stick. So right about there is the bottom of the owl, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pour it. I'll try and get into where the stick is, and I can see. Okay. And then I'm going to drop a couple of drops of the Hay Clear epoxy resin pigment in coffee. I actually think I overfilled that just a tad, so I'm going to lift some out. Ooh, look, bubble. Okay, let's see. Now I'm going to drop that coffee, just a couple drops. And I'm going to use my stick and kind of give it a swirl and try and get it into that part where the log that he's standing on is. I don't know if it's a log or a branch, but he's definitely standing on something. And also his talons are there. And I don't mind if his talons are brown because we're going to be coloring that black anyway. And I'm going to add just a little bit, touch bit more. I know it was stupid because you saw me pull it out, but I didn't want to have it overflow before I put the coffee in. And I just want to make sure I don't have any bubbles in his log and his talons. So I'm going to go in with my little hook and kind of give it a poke right where those are. See, that looks white to me, which means that there's air there. Okay, wipe that off because we don't want it yucky. Scrape off any excess I don't need because I don't want to have to trim it later. Which I'm looking at this mold now and I'm thinking there's a couple of places like here, there's a little bit of extra silicone. I could just snip that off. And here, right at the edge of where that log is, I can probably snip that off too. So I will do that once we demold him. Okay, now we're going to leave him alone and not touch him anymore because that's very hard for me to do. Now, moving on. Here's our little hedgehog. I don't know if you can see, but he's very crystally. He was made from a crystal cut. It's beautiful. And what I'm going to do is I have some confetti that I made out of a, believe it or not, gift bag. I have a crosscut shredder that I use in my office. And what I did was I emptied it out and I took 2 party bags, this iridescent, and I dropped it in. Now, because of the thinness of it, a lot of it didn't cross cut, it long cut. That's okay, I don't mind. I'm gonna drop some in here and let the resin do its thing with it. And hopefully I get a pretty effect. Now, I have a feeling this is like way too much resin. And now whatever I make afterwards is going to have this confetti in it. I'm not bothered by that at all. Okay, Hedgie gets a little squits. Kind of roll it around. He's got ears and eyes up here and his nose, of course. I want to make sure that we don't get any bubbles in there. So that's why the alcohol. Okay, here we go. Now there's the ears I just covered. I'm going to stop, get in, make sure that I have resin in the ears so I don't end up with holes. Yeah, that's it. I hope it's good. And then more. And then more, she said. Now, the hope is that the iridescence of the bag, I mean, you can see it in the resin. The hope is that the iridescence of the confetti comes through when we demold him. Now, anything sticking up, I'm just kind of squishing it down. And if it is sticking up when I finally have to demold him, then it'll just get ground off. Okay, and this is a hand cut mold, so I'm kind of being careful. Okay, I have some leftovers, so I think this is too much for this butterfly. I think it's too much for the butterfly and not enough for the bear. Well, we can try it. It's definitely too much for the butterfly. So we'll go ahead and try it in our bear. This is also I did a thing. This was made out of a chocolate candy mold. He's got eyes, nose. He's got little spots in his feet. Okay, about the alcohol. And he definitely needs more resin, but I don't think he needs any more confetti. He's got quite a bit. So what I will do is I will mix up some resin for him off camera. I have to decide whether or not I actually want to put a backing color on it because I think that confetti would be nice against a backing color. I mean, of course, it's going to be nice and clear, and we will see that when we look at our hedgehog, but I think maybe I'll mix up a little bit of... I don't know. I'll have to ask the kid what color she wants it to be. All right, so I'm going to do that off camera, and I will bring you back when it's time to demold all of our friends. See you in a bit. And we're back. And They're done. They've been through their curing cycle in our repurposed food dehydrator. And I did have a little bit extra. So what I did was, if you recall, the bear was not full enough. I needed to put, we decided we were going to put a backing color on it. She couldn't decide. She wanted a dark purple. So we used a mix of Magic Violet from CT and Fuscus aubergine, which is basically a dusky eggplant. That's exactly the definition of Fuscus aubergine. Aubergine. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so I had a little bit of extra. So I made me a butterfly, hopefully. We'll see. Again, this is made by Me Mold. Oh, that actually came out pretty nice. It does need trimming up. It definitely needs trimming. But that's our butterfly. And even though it has mica, you can still see the crystals, the facets. That's nice. I like that. Okay. Okay, so that's one. Second extra was the bear, which will get new life as a fridge magnet. He definitely needs trimming. You can see that on the edge, which I think I'll wait till tomorrow and just kind of zhuzh it with the either the Dremel or the deburring tool, whichever. Because I mean, this seems thin, but not thin enough to come off with my nail. So, hey kid, that's cute. So if you remember, the clear resin went in with the, it's a party bag that I cross-cut. I used my shredding machine to make confetti, and that is cute. So a little bit stuck up on the top, which I knew that was going to happen. It would float. That's okay because I'm making a fridge magnet, so I'll just grind that part down and put the magnet there. So that's cute, and he stands up. So we'll put that away. Now the hedgehog. The hedgehog has just a little bit of resin on the side. And again, some of that confetti floated up, so it'll need to be ground down or clipped off because it's kind of a little sharp. Let's get him out. Out, out, out. And there's our hedgehog. Cute. He's very sparkly. I love this mold. And yes, I made this mold using a crystal hedgehog as my base. So he is adorable. So there's a crystal hedgehog as my base. Hey Clear 1-to-1 epoxy resin, just clear, with a tiny bit of crushed crystal in it. And of course, my cross-cut confetti shopping bag. That's exactly what it is. It's a party bag. You know, you get us party bags at St. Michael's or even the Dollar Tree sometimes. We got ours at Walmart. That's soft yet. It's confetti, pure confetti sticking up the top. So I can just trim it like that. Some of it is soft and then some of it is hard. It's confetti and resin sticking up. So that needs to be clipped off. And then that right there on the edge. Isn't he adorable? Oh, he's got a little bit on his foot sticking out there. A little overpour. But, you know, that's what happens when you're doing a hand cut mold. You have to be careful. Know exactly where your lines are. Otherwise, you will be doing this every day, all day. So I have to know exactly not to fill it up too far. But at the same time, I can't leave him empty because then it'll just look funky. Okay, so hedgehog, bear, and butterfly. It's animal day here at the game room. And this is our owl. And he is a split mold because him is tall. And I can tell you now that the mold leaked because it's on my bandage, which means I didn't have it lined up good. I sure hope that worked. I can see it where it's leaking out. Okay. Come on. He is still warm and he needs some trimming. Right there is where the split is. It goes up his wing. I tried to be careful where I put the split because I made this beautiful angel once. The problem is where she had to be a split mold because she was on the taller side like this. And even though I had used 0A, which is the softest, the candle mold silicone, it was still because of her wings and all that, I couldn't risk it. So I had to make it a split mold. Well, where I put the split, you could see it. You could absolutely see the line of the split when you demolded her every time. So it took a lot of cleanup, but it was doable. And there's Mr. Owl. So now what we need to do is decide. I think his eyes need to be green. So, and of course his talons need to be black. Let me get the black out. I can find it. There it is. Okay, so kid. So we're going to color the center of the eye green and the outside alone. Leave it alone. Unfortunately, some of my log color drifted into his wing and his head.
I think that looks cooler.
I mean, yeah, not bad. Talon's black?
Yeah.
What about... Actually, his beak doesn't stick up.
So I would say leave it then.
Did you want to see the hedgehog and the bear? So there's hedgehog.
Cellophane, nice. That does look good with a darker background.
Cellophane and purple. Yeah.
Good job.
And this is our Flutterby.
Extra?
It was an extra.
Yes. Yeah.
What do you think?
Nice. Sparkly.
Surprisingly sparkly considering it's mica. Okay, so center is green. Thank you. The kid is working on their music today. So every time I call, they have to come running from their room/studio because the door's closed. And this is going to be one of those one coat, dry it, second coat things. Because I keep going, it'll just streak it. Okay. Now, if you can tell, the owl itself is crystal clear and shiny. The branch and talons that he's standing on, it's matte. Now, because this is a split mold, I was afraid to go in and do, where I mica anything. But I actually think that I could have, well, I know for a fact I could have reached the eyes if I really tried hard enough, because I've done it before the very first time I poured him. And I probably could have done the talons and the log the same way, but I didn't this time. I might do it next time. I'm not 100% sure. Now, let me see. Micro brush. I went a little over with my ink. Okay, it's done. I leave him alone. And I was kind of thinking I was going to go around the eye where you can see the feathers. I was going to make it a different color, but I think I'm going to leave him because I kind of like the way he is, the way he's standing. And there is our crystal owl. I like him. I think he worked out pretty well. I like it when a plan comes together. So when I make my mold and he comes out like this, I am not unhappy about it. So there's our owl, and there's our hedgie, there's our bear, and there's our butterfly. And these were all made by me, and I'm happy to say they worked out pretty much the way I wanted them to. Now I'm going to have to trim up my butterfly a bit in the back because, again, hand-cut mold, so I didn't fill him quite enough, and that's what happens when the shrinkage happens. But I think he's cool, and I will stick a magnet on him, and he will be a fridge magnet. Yay! So I get magnet bear, magnet butterfly, and I get my two friends. Yay! Thank you so much for joining us here in the game room. I had fun. I hope you did too. And I got to try some new things. Come join us again next week. I'm not sure what we have on tap, but whatever it is, we will endeavor to make it fun. In the meantime, don't forget to play. See you soon. Bye.